Hey, how's it going, everybody? If you haven't been to my channel before, my name is Victor Sanchez. I've been building a house here in Mexico, sharing my experience with everybody. And my question to you is, do you ever wonder how a house is built in Mexico? Well, I have a small project. I showed a video some months back or weeks back of a room that I'm making. So right now it's at a stage where you could see kind of the interior. In here in Mexico, it's called La Mano or Obra Negra. So you're able to see a little bit how everything's constructed. So I want to go through that with you guys. See also the project of the cistern. So this is a continuation of the cistern that we're building. But it's really like to show you guys an inside view of how a house is built in Mexico. So let's go check it out. Alright, so obviously we're looking at a smaller scale. So the house, actually you can see the foundation here. I want to bring you this over here so you can, when I explain to you to that little room what we're doing, you can see what is the best practice for this area. Now, a lot of people say, why do this, you know? Well, we're on a slope, so there's no way of getting around it. We can't have a flat slab here. Maybe if you had a flat surface and pretty solid surface, you can get by with the flat surface or a flat slab. But right here we had a foundation and then build a home on top of it. Over here is a small construction which I want to show you guys kind of what each thing is, and this is what it is here, right here. So this is going to be my little tool room or a utility room. Basically put the lawnmower in there. It's also going to be a cistern. This is a water tank, water container here. Essentially it's going to feed the entire backyard. Let me turn this around so I can show you guys. So one of the things you don't get to see in construction is how it's built. So in this case, for the cistern, we had to build a foundation in the bottom. But if you build a home, essentially you will be creating a foundation just like I showed you earlier. So this whole room, basically here, and the bottom section, I don't know if you can appreciate it back there, but right there in the back, maybe you can see it. It's also stone foundation. It has stone in the bottom and concrete. So once the foundation is laid, you can see it probably right here. These you build right on top of it. These right here, what you see, these are called dalas. And these that you see coming up, and they're already full of cement, but they look like this. These are called castillos. So you have a dala, then you have the layer of brick, and when you get to a point where you're going to put weight again, you put another dala, and these are beams, I-beams. And then the brick is laid in a curve like this. But how are these secured? So what they do is to bring a rod, they lay them down right here, and they weld them. Basically they're going to create a whole frame all the way around it. I will be here to film that. If not, I would have waited to show you guys. But so once they have the beams or the rods, I would say like kind of like these right here, welded to this, then it kind of secures the top from moving. So you put the brick here. So this brick is one type, which is this one. This is for the walls. It's a little more solid, heavier. And this one over here is for the ceiling. You can tell the difference. Let me take one over there so you can see it. It's lighter. And they kind of put it around in a circle like this. So check this out. You can see the difference. This goes on the ceiling and these go on the wall. So different size bricks. Well, these bricks are going to be laid somewhat like this. They're going to be forming an arc just like that, and they'll meet. On top of that, they'll put basically another layer. If you can see right there, this thickness. This thickness here, essentially what's going to be on the top of those beams. In the beginning of the construction, we knew that we were going to come out here and build steps. This is something that we talked about 5 years. Now, the concept has changed. Originally, I thought it was just going to be steps like this. But thinking of the future, we built these beams in here into the concrete. And they're all over here. These two, look at. And there's some more down the way. See, these are here too. Hope you can see them. And what happens is when you build, let's say, what's going to continue here is there's going to be a wall from this point. Let me turn it around. So there's going to be a wall from this point that goes straight down, and they'll put beams just like those rods to hold everything together so the wall doesn't, or the steps don't separate from the actual building. Okay, so what is this called? This right here, when they do this, I'm going to show you a video when they're forming it. They actually put boards on the side. Hopefully you can see that video. And so they pour the cement inside. This was all beams at one time, or these castillos. And this is called colado. So this is colado. That's they call it pie, or a foundation, like a foot foundation. And this is how it looks on the other side. So eventually, the whole height, you can see how the beams are here. Probably better appreciate it on this side. They're actually going to reach to here. So you're going to have this thickness. And on this, it's going to have the brick, hal, some other aguijón, some other materials that go on it, then cement, and then you got that stone that goes with it too. So how much is this costing? So far, with labor and just where it's at now, this is the most expensive part when you buy the beams and the materials. So all that cost is up front. And so far, what we have into it is about $3,000. It's going to be roughly about 5 to 6 once it's all finished, because where you see the brick, it's going to be enjarrado. It's going to be like that white stuff, and then you have to lay the stones and stuff like that. So I'm hoping there's a little bit money left so I can build the stairs, but money is kind of scarce. So what do we use? We use basically, we create our own mix with rock, sand, and cement. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of understanding. Obviously, when we're thinking about a house, there's more detail to it. There's also going to be electricity in there. There's going to be the water lines. These are the water lines. It's going to have the direct piping in there, straight from the source all the way through, so it can have a direct line. That is a small representation of what this house was at one point. You know, when I started here in Mexico to build a home, I had no idea. Never was involved in building. My dad was, but not me. So there's a lot of little things that I didn't understand. So hopefully that information helps you to gain a little bit of knowledge. So there is castillos, there is vigas, there's dalas. All that stuff have meaning, and it's like, what the heck is that? All the costs, most of the time, is going to be up front, because you're buying all the materials, trying to calculate what you need. And then as time goes, you're going to pay mostly for the labor to actually put everything together. So if you're thinking of buying a house or building a house, know that your first chunk of money is going to go up front, and then it should taper down. And then once you go into the details, like the luxury, like cabinets and granite, then it starts creeping up again, and then it slows down. All right, guys. So hopefully this was helpful to you guys. If it was, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to say thanks to me, please do that. If you haven't been to my channel before, subscribe. I'm going to keep posting updates about that maybe, I would say around March, April when I come back, and then see what's going on. God bless you guys. Till next time.